Hello, this is the Tradesight Stocks and Futures Market Preview for Wednesday, the 23rd of September 2015. Hope you're having a good trading week. We had a nice day on Tuesday, although it took a little while to get going after the big gap down. A lot of things didn't set up immediately, and then finally got some nice clean trade calls more in the middle of the day with market direction solidly red. So here's a look at the ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart. You can see the fibs from the crash in August, or the semi-crash. It's not much of a crash. The drop, the bounce back to the 61.8% fib, and then the drop down to the 25 from there. And we continue to stall out between those numbers. The gap down today, I was just commenting the other day that we were stuck on the 50%. Got a big gap down and headed a little lower on Tuesday. That took us to the 38.2, and now overnight we're showing the futures currently down another 17.5 points on the ES and 38 on the NQs. Of course, that could change by morning. I'm recording this a little bit later than I usually do. So let's talk about just the cash indices. S&P cash lost 24 points on Tuesday. Now, keep in mind, that's exactly where it opened. So we gapped down. We basically closed right where we opened, as you'll see on the intraday chart. So the trading was not, one of those big down days in August that was super easy. But it was, we still had some opportunities. The NASDAQ 100, the NDX lost 62 points. Stocks coming back down 13 points. Biotechs lost 60 points. The VIX was up $2.30. It was actually higher earlier in the day. The trend closed at 1.75, so that keeps that 10-day moving average up for that. Volume, again, was almost 1.9 billion shares. That's 2 days in a row. Obviously, much better than last week when we were waiting for the Fed, but I can't complain about 1.9. Let's put it that way. NASDAQ decliners led advancers by 1767, and on the New York decliners led advancers by 1850. So those were some pretty negative numbers on the advanced decline ratio. Crude oil closed about even at 46.25. Google lost almost 14 points. Looks like a blip now. You'll notice that 13 sell signal from about 3 days ago looks just about right on Google here. Apple did have a 13 buy signal, but you'll notice the buy signal there was above we don't have the qualifier turned on here, but it was above even bars. It's like 6, 7, well, at least 7 and 8. So not exactly your most extended that you're going to get for one of those signals. Amazon lost $9.99, not $10, $9.99. Still very near the highs. Netflix lost $1.83, and we had gold up 20 cents. So, not anything spectacular when you realize that this is what the intraday looked like. Again, Monday's action was decent and closed heading up. Then Tuesday, the gap down, pushed lower, cut down over lunch. And then in the last, it was really a flat. If you look at it, we're 4.5 hours right at the same number, and then bumped back up a bit in the last hour or so to close right where we opened, no higher, no lower, and left a lot of gap above, obviously. The same as on the NQs, closed just above the opening, got a nice cup there. But like I said, now in the new overnight session, we're showing another negative open. That doesn't mean that'll hold by morning. We'll see what we get. In terms of data, there's really not much. So this is not going to be what drives the market. We've got the MBA mortgage index at 7 a.m. and the crude oil inventories. Most of the data for this week is later in the week. None of it's super exciting. And then next week is, of course, end of quarter, so be aware of that. And then we head into the all this should be the more interesting time of year. But remember, we tend to drop in September, tend to bottom out in the middle of October. So we're setting up for that if these drops keep occurring. And watch out for any news of government shutdown. That's not going to help. So that's about it. I will be in the lab with Rich and Mark, calling it as usual in the morning. Stocks charts as usual, brought to you by eSignal 12. Hope to help you out. Have a great trading session.